And come November 3rd, with your help, we all intend to win. And it's going to be good politically. For those of you who have toiled in the Republican vineyards for years, you're going to be able to say this was a landmark year. But the victory will be more than just politics as far as I'm concerned. The victory will be an endorsement of a philosophy. I believe in my heart of hearts the victory in 1998 is going to be good for Texas, and that's the most important thing about the campaign.
Shouldn't we abolish the Federal Reserve and the CFR? That's the real reality that none of you will talk about, and most of you are members. That's what's destroying this country, Governor. Don't you stand for America, sir? What about the Federal Reserve and the CFR? You people are being lied to. This country's been taken over by Europe, and I'm being drug out. Laugh at it.
Let's go. It's funny, isn't it?
Let's grab an arm.
Grab him, dude.
Public assembly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Carr? I got some cuffs.
Okay.
Let's take him right here, up against this glass. Let's trap him on the glass. Okay. Take that out of his hand.
The governor's protective detail repeatedly went after Mike's camera. And then Mike said, I'll back off. And they said, no, you turn the camera off or you're going to jail. That's what they were screaming from where I was at, but they already had the microphone, so that's hard to pick up. But they repeatedly go after the camera. Why didn't they want the camera on? Is it illegal to have a camera on in a public area? I guess it is. But it's perfectly legal for them to have cameras all up and down 183 and 35 now and all over the country. They're going to watch you, but you're not going to watch them. You got it? That's the new rules. Big Brother's rules.
The victory will be an endorsement of a philosophy. I believe in my heart of hearts the victory in 1998 is going to be good for Texas, and that's the most important thing about the campaign.
Shouldn't we abolish the Federal Reserve and the CFR? That's the real reality that none of you will talk about, and most of you are members. That's what's destroying this country, Governor. Don't you stand for America, sir? What about the Federal Reserve and the CFR? You people are being lied to. This country's been taken over by Europe, and I'm being drug out. Laugh at it.
Let's go. It's funny, isn't it?
Let's grab an arm.
Grab him, dude.
Public assembly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Carr? I got some cuffs.
Okay.
Let's take him right here, up against this glass. Let's trap him on the glass. Okay. Take that out of his hand.
Step back. I'm going to ask you one more time, and then I'm going to tell you to step back.
I think repress. How far do you want me back? I'll go as far as you want me to.
Hey, get the guy from DuPont out here for me.
I'll go as far as you want me to. Turn it off. Turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to go ahead and go. Turn it off. I hadn't done it. I cut it off. No, then you will get it for interview. Okay. All right, you will get it for interview. Go. I'm gonna go ahead.
Mike tried to get some footage, and they didn't want him to. They continually told him to turn the camera off. Again, they can have their cameras on the highways and in the police cars, but we can't have our cameras. He was threatened with arrest. He kept trying to get footage. They put me in the squad car. They were taking me to jail. I was almost down to the Williamson County's facility. When the call came over, the governor said to release me. This is the power of the king. And they're acting just like kings. And they send their hordes of bureaucrats to eat out our substance, just like of old. Look at them, swarms of them coming onto the podium. And we just lavishly beg and chaff like the little serfs that we are. Oh, please let us be your slaves. Let us be manipulated by the sports and the pap and the It's so unbelievable. We're supposed to be a modern society and we buy all this hook, line, and sinker. But take heart, there is a way to stand up against this. Again, abolish the Federal Reserve. Have monetary reform. There's been far too much secrecy from the Federal Reserve to the CIA with its drug running. You give people unlimited power, unlimited secrecy, all they've got to do is con you, and they keep staying in power. And they want more. They're running roughshod over us. The age of
All right, there you see it, folks. We're going to hammer through a few closing comments, maybe get a quick call or two. Listen, the important point to make here, here's how this goes. If Alex Jones was, in fact, say, out of order, if the worst thing he did was be a little bit rude, the way you handle that is very simple. If you're part of the Secret Service detail, the first thing they should have done, these guys, total morons, the first thing they should have done was put themselves between Mr. Jones and the people on stage, because they don't know. I don't care if it was an old lady. You know, firearms, many of them are small. They should have immediately placed themselves between Alex and the stage, just because you never know. The next thing they should have done is said, Mr. Jones, you're out of order. Please, we'd like you to leave. Okay? Then, if he refuses to leave, then you can use some physical force, grab him by the arm, that sort of thing. But no, they never ask him to leave. They immediately grab him by the arms. And of course, as soon as they get out of sight, I'm not going to say completely out of sight of the crowd, but once they get to the back of the room instead of the front of the room, that's where the arm twisting begins. That's where, oh, what are we going to arrest him for? And it's important to note that Alex was placed into custody, driven around for about 30 to 45 minutes, and they never officially arrested him. There was no, it's called an affidavit of warrant, I want to say. I can't remember the exact terminology. In other words, basically no paperwork. He was abducted for about 45 minutes and released based on Governor Bush calling the police unit there, actually it was a constable unit that they was handed over to, and then released. That's false imprisonment, folks. He's got an excellent civil lawsuit on his hands, if you ask me, and in fact, Alex and Mike, who was assaulted, as you saw from the video, did file charges in the city of Round Rock. Admittedly, it's a municipality, but we were just talking earlier, I think he'll get more of a fair shake there because of the greater chance for disconnect between the city of Round Rock and the Bush camp. I'm not going to get to these calls after all, except I'll go to them off the air. Any comments?
George? The fact is that the Republican Party of the state of Texas has voted to get out of the United Nations, to stop the IRS, and to stop the Federal Reserve Board.
The
grassroots Republican Party. The leaders need to listen. The people of this United States need to band together, whether you're Democrat or Republican, and protect the Constitution of the United States.